Saying that because I've talked a lot, right, then I might not be a good communicator. But the fact is that even if I talk, I have to make some sense while I talk, right? So let's try to understand a few basic principles of what good communication is as I run through these slides. I'll just quickly go through this slide. I'll not speak much on it because Alek has given my introduction to you. The best thing for you guys to do to get to know a little more about me is head over to LinkedIn, search for my profile, and get to know what I do. That's it. No other introduction I plan to give because it's already being done. Now, let's understand the first part of how to identify what do you do as communicators. I'll put one question each and I want some answers. Okay, let me put the first one to you. If you are able to see this, please let me know. I think my screen is visible to all of you. Now, look at the first part that I've put out. This is a little more to do with the body language part I just spoke. A lot of people already have something in mind to say. So when they have a conversation with someone, they already have a response. No one studies the body language of another person they are talking to. Now, is it important or is it not important? I want to get some opinions on this. Are you on this side or that side? You think body language is a very important thing? You think it helps? Or you think it is okay if you do not identify someone's body language? By merely talking to that person, you can still have a good conversation and your communication is okay. Which side are you on? Can I get some responses on this? I presume you have all understood what I'm trying to say here. Does anyone have an answer? Come on, take a bet. Okay. Moderately understand body language. Okay, fine. It is important, very important. Okay. Most people tend to agree that this is important. How do you understand if it is actually important to know someone's body language? And how do you know what is good body language versus bad? Does anyone know? Most of you said that it is important, which I agree with. It is important. But how do you identify if you actually care about someone's body language while you speak to that person? Do you? I am telling you, most of you don't. I can confidently tell you that. And I'll tell you why also. Okay, not making eye contact. Agreed, Aparna. But again, eye contact is a very subjective thing. Okay. The first factor, the reason why I've put this out is almost half of the times a person's body language can tell you whether he or she is genuinely interested in talking to you or not. Genuinely interested. When you have a conversation with someone, most of the times conversation is a two-way thing, right? Never a one-way thing. Now, if someone is not interested to talk, how do you know that he or she is not interested to talk? Looking away, right? Doing a lot of movements while they are talking to you.
Making
Always
excuses
making
to run out of the conversation,
absolutely making excuses, trying to
change
say,
topics.
changing topics. Yes, absolutely agreed. What is the reason why people tend to do that? Okay, look, let's understand that body language essentially is going to tell you if the conversation is going to be good or bad. Good body language means good conversation, bad body language means bad conversation. Right now, if I put everyone on video, I'll be able to identify everyone's body language today. Let's do a small task. Let me see if this is working for you. Aparna, can you, at this point, because your videos is on, I have to ask you. Um, okay. So, Poco M3, you have to tell me your name. That will help me. Who's Poco M3 here?
Pratibha.
Pratibha. Okay. Aparna, can you see Pratibha on screen? You can, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me what her body language says to you? Give it an attempt. I want to see.
She doesn't want to be on video. I think she's a
Okay.
little uncomfortable being on video.
No, I'm sitting with the baby. Just
Okay.
now, just now I have joined.
Okay.
Okay. But that is fine. That is fine. So, look, let's understand one thing. Okay. What you
Hmm.
just said, it doesn't matter whatever you said is right or wrong. The idea is you were able to identify someone's mood via their body language, right?
Yes.
Because of how they were sitting or they were presenting themselves, you were able to identify whether this person is interested or not, correct?
Hmm.
Or whether they are comfortable or not. It could be any of that. The
Hmm.
idea of body language is to understand what part of the body language is telling you whether this is going to be a good conversation or a bad conversation, right? Energy, aura, we talk about these things, no? Energy, everyone understands. Aura, everyone understands. Environment, everyone understands. Positive versus negative, everyone understands. If everyone is smiling today, what will the environment be? Will it be positive? Yes. What if everyone is having a frowning face today? Will the environment be positive? No.
Negative.
It will be negative. As simple as that. The idea of being or reading body language essentially means to know if the conversation is going to be good or bad. Always be on the side of body language. It's not okay just to generate a response because you want to give a response. Always understand body language is essential. If you have good body language, someone else has good body language, you end up having a very good conversation. Vibes. Vibes is the word some people use. Correct? Can you tell me one thing just to make this a little fun? Okay. How many times do boys talk about vibes versus girls talking about vibes? Tell me. There is a huge difference. It's very easy, no? Girls, so many times they talk about vibes. I have heard it. I talk to a lot of women, by the way. So I get to know this very quite often from girls, from women. Okay? Girls end up saying a lot of times, she did not give me a good vibe. Do boys essentially say this a lot? They don't. I'll tell you why. Why they don't say that. The reason is because boys most of the times will not understand vibes, right? The mental strength is not that much to understand vibes. You have to put in efforts to understand vibes. And vibe essentially means what? If you see someone's body language, that's the vibe they are giving out to you. So serious vibe means serious body language. Fun vibe means fun body language. Confident vibe means confident body language. Understand that we attach everything in terms of communication a lot to the body language. Most essential part of communicating begins from body language, and there is essentially no other way of looking at it. If you want to develop good communication, first work on your body language. See how you're presenting yourself, see how you come to a video call or to a face to face meeting. What vibes are you carrying? This tells you whether someone can talk to you or not, and helps in two ways. Doesn't matter what you do, you might be working somewhere or finding a new job or even doing a business of some sort, I don't know. But everywhere, this is what counts. You have to understand that body language essentially means a vibe. A good vibe means good body language. Is this clear to all of you? Are we now
Yes,
going
sir.
to also work on the body language? Great. I see some gestures coming up, which is again good for me. It's always good to see gestures. Let me tell you something as I just stop sharing my screen for just a small moment. If I take everyone in this room right now, how many people do I have? About 17 people. So 16 people minusing me. 16 people, okay, on videos. Everyone will have different face expressions, correct? Aparna has one expression. Pavitra has one expression. Ashrita has one expression, right? Everyone has different expressions. Does that actually mean they all have different vibes? Not necessarily. Some of you might just be nervous. That is the reason you are carrying that vibe. What is my vibe right now? Who can tell me? Come on, let's put you all on spot at this point. I also have a vibe.
Creating positive
Pavitra,
creating
educator vibe. Okay.
Very
Tell,
positive
energetic vibe.
positive
sorry, Pavitra, I don't think I got you. Tell me what was that? Okay, I don't think she can hear me. Positive vibes. Okay, fine. Positive vibes. Okay, I understand. Okay, grabbing attention. Positive
Energetic vibe.
vibes. Okay. Someone said energetic also, which is great. Thank you very much for that. Now, how were you able to guess this? Because of what you're seeing, because of what I am saying, because of how I am saying it. And am I only saying it for from my face here or whatever I'm saying from my mouth? No. There are a lot of things that I'm doing. I'm looking at all of you, right? So now this thing of looking at everyone, using my hands and speaking at the same time is also a usage of body language. Always
Gestures.
gestures. Yes, absolutely. Gestures. But do we use a lot of gestures? No. I have seen very few people using gestures effectively. Very few. The idea of body language, what are the essentials that you need, and what are some of the things that you require to develop good body language? Yes, that will also come up during these sessions. But just to give a pointer so that you keep improving from today itself, understand that your body language is not just how you look. So, not the entire structure that you have along with the dress that you have put out. No, it is about here, this part, only this much. Focus on this. And when I'm telling you something, okay, this is not all serious. So, whenever you feel something is funny or something is nice, something is interactive, smile. It helps. Okay. I want to see some good expressions, at least during my sessions. I don't know how others do it, but whenever I am there, give me more expressions. It helps. It helps my teaching also. Okay, fine. Let me put out something with my screen shared, which I think you all should see. Okay, back to screen sharing now. Let me know once it is visible. I think now it is. Let's make this slightly, what can I say? Not a compulsion, but let's understand this as a very important aspect or a rule of good communication, which is 73855. What is 73855? I have given that on the screen itself right now. Now that clearly says 7% is verbal. So whatever you say is only 7% of communication. What is the rest? 38% vocal, tone of voice. A lot of times in communication, they say that it's not what you said, it is how you say it. Two things are there, no? It matters how you say it. That is the reason 38% is always vocal. 55% is absolutely no non-verbal, completely body language. high percentage, 55%, huge. If people are able to guess whether you're confident or not just by looking at you, you know how they do that? As simple as judging your body language. Very simply. If I look at you, I can tell no who's confident, who's not, who's quiet, who's not, what will your nature be like. Everything can be known from your body language. It is very easy, especially for experts to do this is very easy. So understand and take care of these three things. One, what is being said is important, but how it is being said is more important. Second, understand that your tone of voice matters a lot. Watch your tone. I always say watch your tone. Third, work on your body language. If you think you have not worked so far, maybe this is a time to work on it. Understand that facial expressions matter. Understand that smiling more makes a difference. Understand that talking in a certain way matters. Everything is essential for good communication. Secondly, understand the rule of three. The rule of three is very important. When you write, when you speak to someone, especially on important topics, usually people remember the first three things you told them. First three things. So if Aparna says, I work with XYZ company, I have XYZ role, and my aim is XYZ, I'm going to remember those three things first. If I ever remember about Aparna as a person, that is a human tendency that we have. So, with so much information that we give to someone, not all parts of the information are remembered by people. So, whenever you pass on some information, meeting information, event information, anything else which is very important for someone, don't bombard them with a lot of information. Keep it short. Three most important things should be conveyed first. Remember the rule of three. Third most important part, active listening. I will test this out right now because there are again 17 people, excluding me, on the call today. Very easy for me to guess, are you actively listening to me or not? Very easy for me to guess. And I'll do it right now. What was the first question I asked you today? I started the session. I asked you a question. What was my question? Who can tell
Ask
me?
everyone to greet when someone greets us back.
No.
How is the mood?
How are you
What
today?
is that one thing that stops you
How are
from
you
doing
today?
communication?
Okay, you're close, Aparna. Very close to what I had asked. But only one person is close. Okay. Does anyone have a guess, by the way, before I tell you what I had asked you? Does anyone else have a guess? You all were listening, If you are listening, you will know. See how easy this is. Very easy to guess, no? That means most of you were not listening to me correctly. You were trying, I suppose, but you are not listening to me. Half cooked. Mood of the person. Someone, Pavitra says, okay. Um no, no, that was not something I asked. I asked you what is the biggest barrier to good communication. That was my first question. What is the barrier? What is the biggest barrier to good communication? That was the question I asked you. My first question. Now people are saying yes. Correct? What is the lesson out of this for all of you, my dear friends? Listen to me. I can ask you anything else also right now. If you are not listening, you will never be able to understand what I say. Understand that listening is the biggest part of communication. Everything else comes later. I started with that only. No, I said if someone talks too much, doesn't mean they communicate well. That was my first point. So, active listening means you listen to someone point by point. Listen to every important aspect that someone is telling you. Unless and until you do that, communication is not going to work. Okay? Tell me one thing. Again, just at the top of my head, I want to ask you something. There are two kinds of people. Okay? One kind of a person is a very frank person, says everything on the face. Whatever it is, conveyed on the face. The other person is known as a diplomatic person. Who is a diplomatic person? They'll say everything, but they'll sugarcoat and they'll say it. They'll not say it straight up front. First part of my question: who amongst all of you falls in the first category? Frank people, whatever it is on the face. Harpreet, Aparna, okay? Who else? Again, let's be honest, guys. We all know ourselves, we all know what we do. So I want to know Rashmi. Okay, fine. Anyone else? Komal. 4 people so far. Frank, huh? Very frank. Whatever it is on the face. Now, who's diplomatic here? Tell me. Sugarcoat slightly. We'll say it, but say it with slight sugarcoat. Tell me. One name, I think. Okay. Rupa says, I'm diplomatic. Fine. Okay.
Actually,
Aspita.
my nature differs from people to people.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I'm frank with my family, but in professional career, then sometimes I have to give
Okay.
a back. So I'm diplomatic there. So
You
that's
you want
the
to
reason. Huh?
you want to sail in both boats, no, Aparna? This also, that also. So
No,
when
no,
preference
no.
is there, you will be
No, no,
frank.
no, no. Let me tell you frankly, I am a very frank person by
Okay.
nature. But
Okay.
with years of experience, I've learned that it's good to be diplomatic and get your
Correct.
things done right in that way.
Correct. Absolutely. But now, can you all tell me, because we have made a division of people, can you tell me what is the what kind of personality works better? Little, I think someone is saying little. Fine. What kind of personality works better? The frank one or the diplomatic one? Tell me.
Diplomatic.
Diplomatic. Okay, you will have your own reasons to say diplomatic. Fine. Someone says, okay, Aparna says mix. Then again, diplomatic. Again, another response, diplomatic. Okay, fine. Why do you think the diplomatic people work better? Any idea?
I mean,
Situation and time. Okay, Harpreet says
you have
situation and time.
you have to convince what you wanted to say that person, but
Okay,
it should not be that harsh for that person to take it. So you should say it in some soft way, but you should say the truth in frank only you have to say, but not that harsh way.
okay, okay. Who here knows who is a diplomat? Anyone knows who's a diplomat? Diplomat is a very serious position in governments also. Who is a diplomat? I've got 2 responses. Okay. Harpreet, you are
Foreign ministers,
sorry.
foreign ministers, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, people belonging
Um,
to that.
they do work, with those departments, but diplomats have a very important position to hold in all governments. Correct? They do a very important job. They carry out negotiations, a lot of negotiations for our country, right? All countries they do. But if you say someone is a diplomat, right? Someone who makes negotiations at the government, correct? Exactly. That's precisely who a diplomat is. But you know what is the real definition of a diplomat? The real definition of a diplomat is a person who can tell you to go to hell in such a way that you look forward to the trip. Beautifully, he will tell you, right? Then you will suddenly feel hell is such a good place. Let's go. That is a diplomat. Okay? Take it in a positive way, not in a bad. All you diplomats here, okay? I'm not talking against you. I'm talking in your favor. But I'm trying to make a larger point. The larger point is it is okay to be frank at certain times and certain situations in your life. Frank opinion and frank communication never hurts you. I've always believed in that. You know where the problem is? The problem is when you choose to say it in a way where I think Ashrita was saying, it could hurt someone. The idea of saying something frankly should never be with a purpose where the other person stops communicating with you at all. You don't want to stop communicating with someone. So you can be frank, but you have to be measured while being frank. And what is that measured being called? What is it called? It is known as assertiveness. Are you all aware of the term assertiveness? Anyone has heard it? Does anyone know what assertiveness is? Come on, you would have heard it somewhere.
Aggressive to get the things done.
No, aggressive is very different.
Okay.
Assertive.
To push to get the things done.
Assertive means being confidently honest about something. Confidently honest, but not rude. Okay, there is a thin line between someone being, yes, one of the responses I got is skillful dealing with people, which is fine, which I do agree. That is one of the things. Adamant is not correct, Priyadarshini. No, being adamant is not being assertive. Being active, no, I don't think that is also right. Being assertive essentially means being very confident, but also not being rude at the same time. Let me try to give you an example of being assertive. Let's assume that Aparna is having a conversation with Rashmi. Now, suddenly, out of the blue, while they are having a conversation, Rashmi starts to become slightly rude towards Aparna. Now, when you actually get into this situation, Aparna, what will you do? Suddenly, you feel her responses are becoming more and more rude towards you. What will you do?
I would ask her that your responses are rude and can be communicated in a better way. If you want to make
Fantastic.
a point, you can make it in a better way.
Fantastic. Now she's going to get more angry on you. You say this to her, and Rashmi is going to say, who the hell are you to tell me that? Right? I'm talking softly only, no, with you. Never give that response to anyone. I have said assertive, okay? Confidently assertive. What in such a situation, what is going to be your response? Anyone else care to venture a response? Unmute and speak. Don't put it in the chat window. I want
I
to
would
hear
like to
you.
be silent. I mean, I will not talk to her. And
Okay?
later she will get to know like why you are not talking. Then at that point, I can express her that because of your talking, it's hurting me. So that she can understand it and she can be polite to me next time.
Okay. Let me ask you something. Okay? Ashrita. Ashrita, okay? Again, take it in a joking way. Okay? I'm adding some humor to this. Don't take it seriously.
Yeah, yeah, fine.
You're married.
Yes.
You're married. Okay? See, this can work with your husband.
Okay.
Okay? This can work with your husband. This cannot work with Rashmi. That is my problem. Okay? Rashmi is not going to understand that. If Rashmi leaves that conversation, she's going to forget what happened. And she will always keep thinking she's right. You don't want that. Okay? Let me tell you something which can help all of you in such a situation. If you want You can, again, if any of you have a habit of taking notes, please take notes during these sessions. Some of these examples will help you. If such a situation arrives, the one thing which I have to do as a person, okay, react at the same time, Rajeshwari says, okay. Reaction is absolutely not recommended, Rajeshwari, for us. That's a strict no-no from my side. You never react. You should
Can
never
I
react. Yes,
can I try again?
Aparna,
Mo-
please.
yeah, mostly in debates and group discussion, generally if one party gets angry and starts shouting and kind of shows rude behavior, then
Correct?
their way of dealing is become more polite, make your voice even softer. So I don't know whether that will work or not, but can try that.
Okay, you can try that. Might work, Aparna. I think one of the possible solutions could be that. But you know what happens in such an environment? See, you cannot tone down someone's aggression. It is not going to happen. Now, Rashmi is suddenly, all of a sudden, for some reason, she has gone into that mode. What do you do to erase that mode out of her? The first
Give
thing
her
is,
time,
sorry?
do the conversation later.
Yes, absolutely. Now you are right. Not just do the conversation later, change the environment. Okay? Change the environment means what? You can tell Rashmi, Rashmi, you know what? I think normally whenever we talk, we end up talking so much about work, right? I'll ask you something, you will tell me something. Let's do one thing instead of this. Evening today, I'm free for some time, post 6 p.m. If you're also free, we'll catch up for a coffee. Let's go down. There is a person who makes fantastic coffee. We'll meet there, we'll have a conversation. Now at least Rashmi is going to think that you're making an extra effort to have this conversation somewhere else. Change of environment also means change of attitude. Better still, if Rashmi realizes, you know what, I think I was rude for no reason to Aparna, she's also going to say sorry later on, because she'll realize, oh my god, this did not go well because of me. You can never enter a conversation and exit a conversation on the same note. Okay, you enter a conversation, at times it goes very well, you have achieved what you wanted to achieve, fantastic, fair enough. But if it doesn't happen, you always have to know, stop it, change the environment, change when you're going to have that conversation, and have it once again. Don't get into a reactive mode, always be in a responsive mode. What is the difference between react and response? Who knows? What is reaction? What is being responsive? Reaction is a reaction, no? The first thing you said, Aparna, was a reaction that you give. Because Rashmi said, you know what, now Rashmi is rude for some reason, right? What did you say? You know what? You're talking to me rudely. That is a reaction. What is a response instead of that? Response is saying, let's do this later. Not losing your cool, saying, let's do this later. Change the environment, change the setting, your conversation changes. It is always, yes, Priyadarshini says responding is calmly handling a situation. I completely agree with you, right? You have to, reaction is, I think, like it has also come in the chat window, reaction is most times very emotional. So you just give it off, right? Reaction is always an emotional reaction to something. Response is measured, right? You measure everything in life, you can measure your response also. The more measured you become, the better communicator you become in life. So first thing, as a thumb rule from now on, I gave you many thumb rules, I'm giving you one more. Stop reacting. From now, if you ever enter a situation which deserves a reaction, don't give it. Respond, but don't react. It is very easy for all of us to react. Trigger, one small trigger comes, we start reacting on it. Then the conversation will, it keeps on going 1, 2, 3, 4. Priyadarshini says it depends. Priyadarshini, can you unmute yourself? I'd like to know something more from you. can you please explain how it depends? If you are listening to me. Yes, Priyadarshini, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, network issue apparently. But if you are back in the network and you are able to speak, I would like to know something more from you, because you said it depends. Now let make this as a general rule. Okay, I know your situations are going to be different each and every day with different people, which is very true, but that does not mean it gives you an option to react. Choose a response, think about it, be calm, and then respond. Don't react. The more you stop reacting now, you will become more happy in life. The more happy you become, the better your communication becomes. So the ideal way of communicating is always less reaction, more response. Less reaction, more response. Understand that that is what we all have to do. I'll get in some more inputs on this, but let's keep moving to the next 4 points which are important. I've always believed that communication is a mixture of these 4 things. Okay? Focus, managing your emotions, simplicity, and appropriate channels to communicate. If you cannot focus, you cannot communicate. Understand that, right? As of now, also, when I'm speaking to you, the idea is when I'm speaking, you have to be focused on me. Same thing happens when you speak and I listen to you. Focus 100%. Some people have very loose focus, so they keep moving from one thing to the other. It is very difficult for someone to communicate if you do not have focus. So, part one, learn how to focus on your conversations, especially face to face conversations, which are very important for you. Focus on them. Forget about all distractions. First, focus. Second, when you're emotionally charged, okay, there are some days when we are, don't have important conversations on that day. If it is avoidable, in some cases, I know it is not avoidable, try to manage them, but don't be very, very reactive at times when you are emotionally charged. Communication is all about these emotions that, I'll have and you'll also have. The idea should always be to manage your emotions correctly. We should be in different zones at different times. That helps. If I'm in a work zone, right, I'm working on something, I'm in a different zone. So if you talk to me, then my responses would be different, but they would still not be rude. Some people, because they are busy, they end up becoming very rude. When someone asks them something, rudely they'll answer. No point doing that. You can be in a different zone, at the same time you can respond in the same way. So manage your emotions correctly and keep your communication very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. A lot of people complicate their communication for no reason. Understand where a person wants to speak, what a person wants to speak, how this conversation can go in the right direction, and do it accordingly. 2 or 3 people, I'll ask you something. Okay, Aparna, at this point, all most of your conversations, 80%, happen on which platform? Do they happen, and what channel do you use? Does it happen face to face, or does it happen on some other platform? Think
Face
carefully and tell me.
to face or video chat.
Okay, is it just on the professional level or personal level also?
Actually, I'm on a break, so email
Okay,
conversations are limited as of now. Yeah.
okay, fine, no problem. But the limited conversations that you have are mostly face to face
Mhm.
conversations
Yes, and video chat.
and video chat. Okay, fine. What about you, Ashrita? Most of your conversations happen where?
Most of the conversation happens on a telephone. I mean phone.
On phone. Okay,
Yes.
and
And
any other?
and in my personal life, it will be like face to face. But
Okay,
coming to professional, it is on phone or through like a video flat. I mean Zoom.
Okay, okay, fine, fair enough. Let me tell you something else which could be something which you can apply to most of your important conversations in life. If it's a critical conversation, always do it face to face. Doesn't matter if it's in your personal life or professional life. If it's a important critical conversation. So if let's say Rashmi wants to communicate something with Harpreet or with Rajeshwari or with anyone else. If it's a very important conversation, Rashmi should initiate a face to face talk. That is always highly recommended. Never speak very important things on WhatsApp. Any instant messaging service is very bad for important conversations. Time
It
pass
does
is
not,
okay.
it does not convey the right emotion and tone.
Exactly. Exactly. You never know what the other person is thinking. So as of this point, I'm sitting here and I'm training all of you. Someone pings me on WhatsApp, right? What state am I in right now? I'm in a very serious state. So a friend pinging me and doing some joke is going to get a very basic response, no? I might not even send a smiley to him. I'll just say, yeah, okay. Or give him a thumbs up. He's not going to like that. He'll say, Are, I sent you such a good joke, you're giving me this response. Again, it gives a trigger for a fight or a conflict. Every important information that you are passing on to someone should ideally happen face to face. If it's a personal environment or it's an official environment, critical conversations are always face to face. So pick the right channel for your communication. The more you do that, the more you will be able to make impact. And impact is always something that a good communication can ensure to you. Good impact, good communication means good impact. And that is something you all have to know. Communication is a long term thing, not a short term thing. I have never advised anyone to study communication for a short term. Do it continuously if you want to really be good. Good communication has a lot of good benefits. The first thing is trust, credibility, reputation, everything depends on your communication. Can someone tell me this? I'll just ask a very simple question. If I sent any of you a message, let's pick a channel. Let's say I sent out a message on WhatsApp. Who will give me the quickest response? What is your response time? Someone tell me that. I have a response time, I know. Do any of you have response times?
A day,
Okay, a day. What about everyone else? Aparna says a day. Okay. Rajeshwari says 1 minute. Nice. That's very quick. Okay.
she's always on WhatsApp.
So, and I have a few friends, and this is the scary part for me. I have a few friends who, if you message them at, let's say 2 a.m. or something, okay, you have summed this one, and you are awake, and you message them at 2 a.m., they would still respond in like half a minute. I don't know what they are doing at 2 a.m. being awake, right? It's a scary thing for me. Why I'm saying this to you is we all have, certain response times to our conversations. Strike a balance. Don't be very early. Of course, with your response, none of us can be very early unless we are always online. But don't be very late with your responses. Aparna, a day is very late as a response. You have to be slightly quicker. By the time, if let's say if I have something very important to tell you, and I have messaged you, and it takes a day for you to respond, then it is adding a lot of time to the conversation, which might not happen. Okay, you can always buy more time, no? So if you respond by saying, you know what, okay, something urgent, do we have to talk today? Then I can make some time. Or okay, not urgent, can we talk tomorrow? Fair enough, no issues. But always know that every communication that you do has a long term impact, whether
Since
it is
you
on.
mentioned,
Yes,
since you
go on.
mentioned WhatsApp, I want to get rid of this addiction. So I have a dedicated time, 1 hour a day or maybe 30, 15 minutes a day max. So just getting rid of it, that's the reason I said, okay, a day.
uh, and that is a good thing you're doing. Okay, I know it takes a lot of our time, whether it is WhatsApp, Instagram. I think we have all got into a habit of unnecessarily being online, right? So I also don't recommend that, by the way. I'm not recommending that you all should be online answering questions or always being active in chats. Not recommended. But always make sure that your communication is based on the priorities you have. How many of you have a priority list for communication? Can any of you tell me? Do any of you have a list? I have a list. I made it long back, but I do have a list. Okay, Pavitra says she has a list. Fantastic. If you do have a list, Pavitra, it is a very good habit to have. Please make a list. There are about 5 to 10 people who are going to get maximum of your time within a day. You should have that list. So it could be your husband, or it could be someone, let's say your best friend, because you talk every day, or it could be your parents, it could be your manager, it could be someone that you work with, your teammate, anyone who deserves maximum of your time. If you do not have a priority list for communication, then you're doing something wrong. Everyone should have a list. It could have 10 names, 15 names, I don't care. Some people have 25 names also as priority. So does that mean, do they talk to those 25 people every day? I don't think they do. But at least they have a list. Always have a list of people who deserve your time. Yes, so I think, like Rupa says, she has a list of friends, family, colleagues on top, right? How is this helping us? We should always know who deserves a response from us in the shortest time possible. We are into, see, I do the mentoring part, the coaching part, all of these things. If I do not respond quickly to people, it is very difficult for me to communicate with them. They might want a response instantly. So I've created a channel for them where I instantly tell them that if there is anything urgent, you can just pick up the phone and call me. Better still, don't depend on WhatsApp. If you think I have not responded for like half an hour and this is urgent for you, pick up the phone, ring me, talk to me. I'll give you 5 minutes. No issues. But deserves the importance, and hence it is priority. So everything that you do in communication affects you long term. From now on, make this as part of your rules that you have. Because if you communicate well, you're going to have more trust amongst people that you work with. It enhances your reputations no end. People will always recognize the one person who answers very quickly to them. And I've seen it with a lot of people. People who communicate well are always remembered. Always remembered. Person who doesn't communicate, who remembers them? Tell me. You know what they'll say, Aparna, just, I'm taking you as an example right now. Of course, I know why you have done this, but just taking it as an example. If you say I respond in a day, what am I going to say? Oh no, yaar, I cannot talk to Aparna. She'll take one day to respond only. Way too much time for me. So I'm not going to do that. Now that's the reputation I'm going to carry. So it's in your hands to make sure that there is a priority list. Make sure that there is one. If you all have that, it will really be one of the best things you will do for yourself. As we plan our day, we should also plan our communication. The more people communicate well, the more people begin to trust you. It's not about how much, or what kind of responses are the most ideal. It is also about how much time someone takes to respond. You all use Swiggy and Zomato, no? All of you, you order stuff from Swiggy and Zomato. Who
Yes,
has
sir.
used their customer care? You have never used their customer care? Not single complaint also?
Sorry, husband's account.
It
I
is
used.
you have used, na? Rajeshwari says she has used. How now I do understand that it is controlled by bots, right? AI is doing most of the work now. But what is the reason to use their customer care? It's very quick. So you put a response, they'll give a response. Then again you'll put a response, they'll give a response. They'll give you a solution also very quickly. And once you select a solution, it is done absolutely in 1 minute. You're in and out. So the idea of this is, if that is a factor that is going to quicken up your process of work, people appreciate it. So communication also means clarity, right? Clarity is very important in communication. I cannot stress that enough. Clarity also means you will be collaborating with more and more people, which also means more and more people trust you, which essentially means a lot of people will work with you. No one has ever won alone in life. If you want to do something really well, you have to have people around you. And if you have people around you, then what is the biggest thing you have to do? Communicate with them. And how are you going to communicate? Good, bad, ugly? Three options if I give. Everyone will prefer the first option, no? I want to communicate well. For you to communicate well, first have priority. Second, have clarity. Third, have empathy. Priority, clarity, empathy. Three things. If you can take care of these three things, you will end up communicating well with most of the people. This 7 C's is very important for all of you to remember. And I'll ask you why. This is again going one by one from first to last. Completeness, conciseness, consideration, clarity, concreteness, courtesy, correctness. Read the descriptions that I've given for each one of them. You have to remember these 7 C's. It helps a lot because they go in circles. Everything is a circle there. And everything begins with what? Completeness. Yes, Aparna, you were saying something.
You said everything begins with C.
Everything begins with C. Yes. You know, more than that, everything begins with a C, yes, but there is something else which is going to constitute all of this together, right? Which is the completeness of completeness. What is that? Clarity. Are we clear with what we say? Most times people are not clear. Information is missed. We have all done this. Some people would be still doing it. Some people maybe have got out of that habit. I don't know. But a lot of times, this is the biggest problem people have. They are not clear with what they are trying to say. There are two ways of conveying the same information. Let's take an example. Okay, I'm going to make you do something now. Let's say, okay, Ashrita, you can do this maybe. Ashrita and Aparna can be volunteers for this. Ashrita, you have to invite Aparna to an event. Okay, can you please give her the information? Right now, you are there face to face talking to each other. You please invite her to an event. What information you are going to give, I don't know.
Okay.
Please give her the information. Let's see how clear you are. Please go ahead.
Hey, hi, Aparna. So this Sunday, there is my birthday event happening on Nagarjuna restaurant at evening 6 o'clock. Could you please visit my birthday with your family?
Sure, thanks for the invite.
Fantastic. Okay. Ashrita, one simple lesson for you. Okay. You see again, a car has 5 gears. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You cannot go to fifth directly. first, second, third, fourth is also there, no? So when you actually say these things, you just invited her to something. But you didn't give her a chance to speak only. She spoke right at the end. Exchange greetings first, no? At least. Hello, Aparna. How are you doing? Let Aparna say she's, at least say she is fine. How are you doing? Small talk. What is this called? Small talk. Another concept you all have to know. Who knows about small talk here? Follow up question to all of you. Who knows what small talk is?
I mean, before directly jumping into the main conversation,
Correct?
first we should have some formal kind of greetings or what they are
Absolutely.
doing, kind of.
Absolutely.
After that, after making them comfort and letting know, I mean, whether they are in the comfort zone of talking to us, then we should convey our thoughts to them.
Okay, fine, fair enough. So now you do know what small talk is, right? You do know what small talk. You didn't do the small talk only, no, with her.
I mean that the thing is she's very new to me. If it is like my friends, usually whom I converse with, I follow the same steps. But as on the spot, as you are asked me,
That
so
is
I
where you will
directly
be
went into
tested.
the conversation.
That is where you will be tested, no? This is
Yes,
the
yes,
reason why you are attending this session, no, madam? What is the
yes.
reason otherwise? You have to learn these things only, no?
Okay.
She is not your friend. Fair enough. So does that mean I cannot have a conversation with her? I see. You all are new to me today. Correct? Am
I
I
mean that
talking to you? Am I talking to you as if you are all new to me? Tell me honestly.
the thing is, I don't want to waste my time. Like now, so many were listening to us, right? So if I quickly end up my conversation, so they can learn something more. That's the thing I ended
No,
it
madam, you don't
fast.
think so much. It is that is you leave that thinking to me. Okay, don't think so much. You
Okay.
don't have so many inhibitions while you talk to
Okay.
someone. Okay, keep it very simple. The first rule is even if you're inviting someone somewhere, a little small talk is essential for them to be comfortable with you.
Okay.
So what are you going to say? Okay, Aparna, hi, hello Aparna, how are you doing? Then Aparna is going to say that yes, I'm doing fine. How are you doing? Then you'll answer her. So what's up? She says, what's up? What's going on? Then you'll say, you know what? It's my birthday, day after tomorrow. I'm celebrating it at this place at this time. Can you please come? I'd really like if you come. Okay, now it is a good conversation. Then at least she'll consider no of coming there. Correct. You know how this was? This was like what we used to do in school. Okay. In school, we used to hate some people, no? We'll never call them. So because we have to call them because our mom says, no, no, you have to call everybody. Okay. So with great difficulty, we'll go to that person and invite. It was like that. Okay. So Ashrita, it cannot be like that. Okay.
Okay.
Keep
Yeah.
it very normal, make it very comfortable for her to do that. And there are a few things. Okay, now coming to the technicalities. Okay, you told her to come, she's agreed, she's going to come. Aparna, tell me one thing, did she miss to tell you anything regarding the invitation?
She mentioned the date, which was
Okay,
coming Sunday. She
fine.
mentioned the time, but
Okay,
that was only the arrival time, like 6 o'clock. So generally
correct,
nowadays people give a duration 6 to 8, 6 to
correct,
9, and
correct.
venue was there. So I
Okay,
think it was fine. Yeah, other
okay.
than that, yeah.
Just one detail I think she missed, rest of it she gave you. Correct.
Hmm.
Now
Hmm.
again, because she missed one detail to be given, so we'll not give her full marks today. But this is something she will try once again next time and we'll give her full marks for that. But I want all of you to understand that during any kind of conversation, you cannot directly jump to a point. Concise communication doesn't mean that you will come straight to the point. You get these messages on WhatsApp, no? Sometimes these days, a lot of these fake SMS, fake messages are coming. some part-time work they'll offer you for some money. Who has got these messages on WhatsApp? Everyone has got, no? At least I get a lot of these messages. I don't know, maybe they consider I'm a very free person, so they send me a lot of these messages. But right, okay, Rajeshwari says yes, she also got such messages. Now, what is a common factor in these messages? How you understand it is spam.
Very bad communication.
Correct. They'll just put three messages at once. Hello, I am a this from this company. This is a chance for you to earn this much money. This is the duration. This is what you have to do. There is absolutely nothing else beyond that. Okay, this means essentially what will you say when you read such messages? Oh, it is a fake message. Again, the human mentality or tendency tells us that small talk is essential to have a good conversation. If I have to invite Aparna, how am I going to do that? Here's an example for all of you. So, hi Aparna, hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I am fine, Aparna. How are you doing today?
All good, all good.
Okay, great news. So you know what? It's my birthday, day after tomorrow,
Okay.
and I have
Uh-huh.
this time planned to celebrate it with a lot of my friends. Okay,
Great.
you have
Uh-huh.
to come. Of course, I'm actually there right now, telling you that you have to come. Okay, I'll
Okay.
I'll not take no for an answer. Okay, please do
Okay.
come. It is at okay Hotel XYZ. 7 is when we start. 9 is where we end. There is ample parking available. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. If there is
Mm-hmm.
anything required, you can always message me on WhatsApp. I am anyways putting the location and all the details to you.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So can I expect you there day after tomorrow?
Yeah.
Great.
Right.
Fantastic. Okay, then I think we'll all have a good time. Please join us. It will be a
Yes.
grand celebration. Right?
Great. Yeah. Advanced birthday wishes.
Thank you. See
I'll be
how
there.
beautifully that ends. See, now she says I'll be there also. Advanced birthday wishes also. How many add-ons am I getting out of it? Learn to have normal conversations, but energetic conversations. It's not about the birthday wish. It is about how this is getting conveyed. If same way you are convincing someone to work with you, like I have a project, I need some help from you. You still need to have small talk, na, to do that. Even without small talk, that is not going to work. Even the convincing part doesn't work. If I have to make a help request today, okay, let me see how this goes very, very quickly. I don't want to take much time. Rashmi, can you speak? I'm not able to hear you for some reason. Some audio issue, maybe? Yeah, I think you have some audio issue. No problem. So let's reverse this now. Okay. Aparna, let's do this from your side round. And you can address it to Ashrita. You want to ask her for some help. You're doing some work, okay, you're working on some project. All of a sudden, you realize you need her help. You
Okay.
have to go and ask, okay?
She's my
Please,
colleague.
she is your colleague. Please ask her for some help.
Hi, Ashrita. How are you?
Hey, hi Aparna. I'm fine. And how are you?
Good, good. So, how are things holding up at your end? Too much work at office?
Yeah, nowadays I'm always in the calls, and I'm not having much personal life. So
Oh,
very
okay.
busy with my daily work routine.
Okay. Ashrita, I'm very sorry to ask. I will need your help in the web page development because I know you are an expert and you will be able to do it quickly. And I'm facing some issues there. So, will you be able to spare some 10 minutes of your time with me today in the evening? Whatever time
Um,
suits you.
okay, evening. Sure, I will try to make some time for you.
Yeah.
Whenever I find some time, I will ping you back.
Yeah, that will I'll wait for your help and thanks a lot. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Hey, that's okay. Sometimes I need to help you, and I mean, you also will help
Definitely,
me.
I am
So
also there. Whenever you will need me for anything, I am also there. Yeah.
yeah, so we should help each other, right? So that's okay. I will help you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
What
It's
great
okay, no
improvement,
problem.
no? See how that conversation went suddenly? And it went for quite some time, isn't it? It
BFF,
was
best
not
friends forever.
exactly, not very abrupt. It just went and it went very well. Now, again, two things. You're asking for someone for help, the pattern is almost going to be the same. I think, Aparna, what you could have also done is maybe provided a few more details about the duration of your help also. You could have told her, it's probably half an hour's job or, 1 hour's job, but I need this expert help from you.
I actually said I need just 10 minutes of your time. I
Okay.
mentioned that.
You mentioned 10 minutes, no? You heard it, no? Ashrita? Maybe I
Yes,
missed it.
yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
Okay.
I heard it.
So if you said 10 minutes, fair enough. Then you gave her time also. Fine, which is okay. Absolutely okay. Now, whether she's going to give you that much time or not, again, subjective. I don't know if she'll be able to make that much time. But at least because your way of convincing her was slightly better than what she did just some time back, she might consider that, right? 80% chances she will help you. I'd say 90% chances, not just 80. I'll say 90% chances she'll help you. The idea of this is to understand that everyone is going to need communication or good communication in different situations. What are we doing here? We have kept it very simple. Have I kept it complicated? No, it is very simple. Amazingly simple to talk to anyone, do a bit of small talk initially, and then get to the point and get your work done from someone. Very easily doable. But there are two factors which will come into the picture here. One, are you sounding confident when you talk? Confidence is going to be a big factor for all of you in communication. Very big factor. And confidence cannot be measured. You all will be differently confident in your own life. Aparna will say, I'm more confident. Rashmi will say, okay, I'm confident, but I'm not, top of the world confident. Pavitra will say, I am okay. I don't know if I'm that confident, but I'm okay. Quietly confident. Ashrita will say the same thing. So we all have subjective levels of confidence. The problem is communication, when done with less confidence, gets caught very quickly by people. So if let's say I'm interviewing you or I'm talking to you about something very important and you don't sound confident somehow. If you do not sound confident, I know where to catch you. So the best way to avoid it is always sound confident when you talk. It is very important to be confident. And confidence comes from within. So, two, three things to do if you really feel you're low on confidence. Make sure that whenever you feel slightly low, you're not confident today. First of all, don't decide to have a lot of important conversations that day. But if you do, let's say you have no choice, you have to have a good conversation and very important one. Initially, before you get into that conversations, 5-10 minutes, give yourself a break. Don't be in a work environment. Go outside, have a cup of coffee, come back. You will feel more confident as a person when your environment changes. Everything is relatable in life. If your environment matters, how you speak matters, how it affects your confidence, everything matters. Understand that confident communication means good communication. And unfortunately, there is no alternative for that. So if you have to be more confident, try to be with a lot of confident people in your life. I know we all have friends, right? Do we all agree that we have very different friends than us? Our personality is A, our friend's personality will be B. Who has that kind of friends? All my friends are like that. All my friends. Do you all have such friends? Or you all have similar friends only? So let's say if Aparna is a very serious person, Riva says yes, which is great to hear. So let's say Aparna is a very serious person. She has a friend who's also very serious. How is that going to work? They cannot help each other out in communication at all because they both are the same. But if she meets someone else who's much more confident than her, very outspoken, very bubbly kind of character, suddenly Aparna around that person will be very different. It is just a magic that we all carry, right? We all take things from each other's personalities and we try to apply something in our own. Similarly, because I'm telling you so many things, right? If I ask you, what is the biggest takeaway you have today? What will you tell me? Biggest takeaway from today's session. What is it? Let's see. Let's study your judgments on this. I've spoken roughly for more than an hour now. Roughly, I'd say. Little more than an hour. What is the biggest takeaway you have?
We should start observing like how we are communicating with the people and try to
Okay.
improve on that. We
Okay.
should start
Fine.
working on that.
Anything else?
So one thing that really caught my attention was 7:28:55 rule or 7:38:55 rule. So
Yes.
that was
7:38:55. Yes.
yes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes.
So that was my biggest learning for today.
Okay. Now, see, there is, okay, so you've one maybe something that a person got from what I spoke. The other person probably got it from what I showed you, which is also fine. Anything else apart from that? I'm getting some response in the chat window. Okay. Confident in communication with body language. I agree. Communication is a very important part of life. I agree again. Yes, true. What else? Carrying a positive vibe. Absolutely. Right.
Be diplomatic. Make small talks.
Yes, small talk. So Priyadarshini also says the same thing, which is absolutely true. Learn the art of small talk. It helps a lot. Okay. Being diplomatic, yes, at times you have to be diplomatic. There is absolutely no choice. And if you have to be diplomatic, be good at it. Don't be diplomatic for the heck of it. It doesn't work. Okay.
Communication should be concise, and the most
Absolutely.
important part of the communication must be the first three sentences.
Correct. And Pavitra says, yes, less reactive. Absolutely true. Become responsive, not reactive. If you are reacting, any of you, if you have a habit of reacting, change it to response, not reaction. You will be much calmer when you give a response instead of just reacting to things. Reaction is never a good thing for any of us, it doesn't help. And yes, preparing a list. So, preparing a communication list, Rashmi, is very important. I think that's a very important point. Make a priority list. Put in names of people that you feel deserve to communicate with you anytime, any day. Make a list and put their phone numbers, right? Just tick out their phone numbers and make sure that if that number pops out and wants to talk to you, you will respond immediately.
Yeah, the response time should be balanced, not too less,
Balanced,
not too, yeah,
not too less, not too more.
not too.
It is very, very important to also know something which I think we all missed in all the pointers that you gave. When I was speaking of body language, I told you to focus on something. What did I tell you to focus on?
Mood, mood.
No. Just initially, I said something that if you are working on your body language, focus on this.
Smile,
No, not mind also.
Gesture.
Yes,
not
Priyadarshini is
not mind, smile.
smile. Okay, smile is okay. Yes, one of the factors, I guess.
I said
More
gestures.
than gestures. Yes, absolutely. One of the messages I think which now is coming up, facial expressions. This, I was talking about this. It's all here, no? Your body language. So why do we look all very serious? Don't look serious. Look very natural. Look calm when you're sitting somewhere. Everything gives out a vibe. And all vibes are what body language is. We underestimate a lot about what we do and what we say, but we do not know how our face is looking when we are saying something to someone. And precisely that's why you have to work on it. Is it a good point you all have understood? So what is a rule that I have put out from today's session? If you like something, what will you do? Yes, two people absolutely remembered what to do. Two reactions I got, which is great. Anyone else care to give a reaction? Come on. Reactions are free, by the way. And I'm getting some good responses in the chat window as well. So stop reacting. Okay, fine. That's fair enough. So Priyadarshini, you said how to get that. How to get what exactly? If you are, I don't know if you can speak, or if you can put it in the chat window, I'll be able to read it. If you mean how to get a calmer expression on your face, or maybe how to work on that, facial expressions. Yes, exactly. It is very simple to get good facial expressions. You have to first of all, then this is a mirror exercise that I tell a lot of people to do.
I was about to say that. Talk to yourself in a mirror.
And it helps a lot. Have you tried it, all of you? Apparently, Aparna has.
I have told the
Right?
same thing to my kids.
It's a very good point, right? And it helps a lot. You will be surprised how it works. Get in front of a mirror for 2 minutes every day and talk to yourself. There is something known as self motivation in life. It helps a lot. You have to just go, up. So, what will Aparna say when she's in front of the mirror? Tomorrow morning, she's in front of the mirror. What will she say? She'll say, Aparna, are looking very nice here today. To herself only. But how much confidence will it give her? Right? Try it, Aparna. That smile that you had right now is the smile you will get then also. Okay? Or Ashrita will say, Are fantastic personality you have. To yourself only. See now see your faces when you smile. If I take a screenshot and show it to you in the next session, you all will say, My God, we do have some beautiful expressions on our face. It is very important to know that self talk is the biggest confidence booster. Self talk, it is known as self talk. And one more thing you can do, this is a special extra tip for all of you. You all know this, what do we call the superheroes that we see on television and everywhere? Cartoons, Superman, and what else? Spider-Man. We all have seen them, right? Your kids must still be seeing them. But yes,
Avenger.
Avenger. So you have these superheroes. You know what people do? The most confident people, they stand in front of the mirror and they'll do a power pose. The power pose means your hands on your hips like this, standing confidently in front of the mirror and looking like this, just straight on the face. What does that give you? Do it for 1 minute. It gives you hell lot of confidence. Hell lot of confidence. Try it, some of you. I'm not joking. Okay, please try this and tell me what difference did it make to your life. You will be more confident as a person. A lot of people ask me how to build confidence. There are only two ways of doing that. One is by striking a power pose once every day. Adds a lot of confidence to you. Two, meet a lot of unknown people in life. Unknown people, you have absolutely no idea who they are.
I would
Go and
like
meet
to
them.
add
Yes,
believing in oneself. Unless you believe,
yes,
you'll never be able to.
correct, absolutely. If you think you cannot communicate, you will never be able to communicate. As simple as that. Who's going to teach you that No other person, forget about me. No one else can teach you. Communication, what I'm giving you are tips and pointers. But can I take your hand and say, you know what, from today you will behave like this only? It is not going to work for you. So the idea is behind all the things that I'm saying, right? The idea is to know communication is a very subjective thing, but a very continuously improving thing. It is not for today or tomorrow. It is a continuous process that goes on. That's the only way to make your communication better. And it is attached to your confidence. It is attached to your personalities. So 2, 3 things I want to see in the next session now. Okay. And these are something I'm telling you right now, so that when you come next time, I have to see this. Better facial expressions next time, all of you. Second, more smiling faces. Give me more smiles. It is good. Okay. Ashrita is trying from today itself, which is great for me. See, now her smile is much wider. That is exactly what I want. Aparna, I think you were great today. Very interactive. I think the most interaction I've had with you, Ashrita, and maybe Pavitra. Pavitra was answering as well in between, although she couldn't speak, but she was answering. I think all the Rajeshwari was answering as well. But girls, all the other women, please be on video next time. Wouldn't it be great if we all could see each other and talk to each other? And of course, Rashmi as well. I think she was there. She was very interactive today. I need more of this from you. Okay. There are just 5 sessions that we are doing. One is already over today. But as we keep going with this, understand that towards the end, I should have made at least 1 or 2 differences to your personality. That will be the biggest thing I'll get out of it. And what are you going to get? Whatever tips and pointers I give, try to implement that in your life first. Start off small, making a list of people who get priority communication. One small thing you can do to start off. Second, try to be more confident every day. The mirror thing I told you, small start you can do. Okay. Any questions that any of you have before I end this session for today? Alekia, if you are there, may I have you on video, please? I hope you are still there with us. I don't know if she is there.
Yes, Omkar, I'm here.
Yes, Alekia, yes.
We have a lot
So,
of tell me.
no problem. So I think we are almost done for today. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I don't see any question. I'll just check. Yeah. So I don't see any questions as of now. So I guess we can meet in the next session now and continue from here. I hope to see you all in the next session as well. Okay. Was
Sure.
So I think Rashmi, I think, is asking, will the notes be shared? So I think I do believe that there are recordings of this available, and I think if you need the notes to be shared, I'll do that as well. So don't worry, I'll make sure I pass it on to Alekia, and then she can pass it on to all of you. Okay, so I don't think that is a problem. That will surely be done. So before I end, how was today for everyone? Was it good? 1.5
Yeah.
hour you spent on this session. Was it good? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Good.
Rashmi. Thanks a lot. Rajeshwari, thank you. Aparna, thank you. Ashrita, thank you very much. Thank you, all of you. Pavitra, thanks a lot as well. And now I hope to see you in the next session. Okay. Thanks a lot for all your
Thank
time.
you, Omkar.
Thank you,
so much for
Alekia.
the wonderful insight.
Thank you.
And the next session would be on 11th July, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So see
Yeah,
you all there. And I hope you would have practiced a few things you learned today. Let me ask you in the next session. Okay, fine.
Sure.
thank you.
Thank you, Omkar.
Take
Thank
care.
you so much. We'll see you
Bye
again.
bye. Have a happy weekend. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye, ladies. We'll meet you on 11th July again. We'll update you all the details regarding the session on WhatsApp group, and we'll block your and calendar will be blocked for the same. Okay?
Sure,
Yeah,
thanks.
sure.
Sure. Thank you. Bye-bye. Happy
Thank
weekend,
you.
everyone.